Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching Superman and Lois, Season 1, Episode 14, The Eradicator. This is the penultimate episode of Season 1. I am stressed. I'm excited. Thank you so much, Jarrell, for sponsoring this show.
Something far greater.
You should have made better choices.
Of your hand resurrected.
You will be eradicated.
It's just not safe with Edge still out there.
3 whole weeks later, fuck. Also, something I've been thinking about is I imagine the only souls that are in the Eradicator and that are being released are like people that were on their side. It's not like good Kryptonians, it's all the bad Kryptonians, which sucks.
And also I need to, work on the hammer with John Henry.
You've been spending a lot of time with John Henry lately.
He has.
He's basically a genius.
Great.
Saved Dad's life twice. I just want to be prepared for when he shows up again.
I know, sweetheart.
You're making too much sense. Come on, let's go.
I hope they've had serious talks to him about using weapons and everything. And
DOD has been here for a month. People want to know when you're gonna leave.
When I think it's safe. But I can't say that because it'll cause.
Do you have to be occupied in town center?
Too many of those questions lead back to our family and the very secrets that keep you safe.
Is that really what this is about?
Now you questioning my motives?
There will always be a dividing line between someone that a journalist who believes in truth and the military and all this. Oof.
Dad, I'm sorry.
Done here.
Yeah, it's not an easy role to be in.
Kind of feels like she's been avoiding me lately.
It's sweet that she's his best friend. That he'd phrase it that way.
Every time I see you, I'm reminded.
You've been here your whole life. And now that my mom's gone, you're the heart of Smallville. You are.
Smallville's rejected her. Fuck Smallville.
Smallville's gone. People around here used to look out for each other.
If they choose to stay, it should be for themselves, not for everybody else.
Trust? We've made up our minds.
I reckon they're gonna stay, but they shouldn't do it for anybody else.
Actually believe that moving somewhere else will, give us a fresh start. Even though they've only gotten one crappy offer on this place.
That's great.
Don't let my dad hear you say that.
No. I just mean it's great that you guys are staying. That's all.
Yeah.
I knew what you meant.
But Jordan and his family had a fresh start moving here. I'm glad these kids are happy.
Sophie! Shut up. Sophie, wait.
They just kissed. Mum would roll her eyes.
What did I say about asking questions?
I'm about to ask them.
Why is he here if you're not going to teach him stuff?
Finish building the old suit.
Wait, she helped you build your war suit? That's awesome.
It's not awesome. She was 14 years old and her mom had just been killed on live TV.
I'm sorry, that was stupid.
Her whole childhood was stolen in an instant.
He didn't mean it like
months of her
that.
life hiding in a... Be out with your friends, being a normal kid. Not here playing war games.
I know you don't currently
wanted to learn
have any friends.
Well, I don't have anything else to teach you.
It's probably kind of actually hard for John Henry because having another kid around, a kid that asks all the questions and wants to help and isn't like as scientific yet, I suppose, as his daughter was. But like, it's going to be hard for him to kind of see this other kid and knowing it's Lois's kid as well when he's lost his daughter. And I don't think Jonathan learning to protect himself and being part of this is the worst thing in the world, but I also don't think it's a good thing and I'm stressed for him. You will find your place, young man. And it was kind of awesome that your daughter was capable of helping you build your first suit.
Lois, if I don't take this offer, I'll be underwater in a month. I don't have a choice.
I understand that, awful as it is, Smallville is not doing well. Small towns in general need to find a way to adapt. It isn't Edge. You know, he's just spent 3 weeks chilling by the sun. Just stay here.
Krypton will be reborn.
So can he now put Kryptonians in people?
Just doesn't sound good.
They are, I mean, in there. Smallville is a strange place. Like, at least hear him out first, and then if he doesn't give you answers, then you get chanting.
Hey, babe. So, Ultron here kind of forced our hand.
Not everybody's out to get us, Kyle.
Enough of them are, and how many of them are stepping up in your
I am
defense?
very appreciative. Okay, so you and me, we can make any place home.
I'm just convinced this man is going to be possessed by another Kryptonian. Potentially both of them will be. Like, part of me half thought Ed was going to be outside the window, like...
The new Smallville.
Jimmy's parents are out of town. He's got the whole place to himself.
Wellness is picking up a cake as we speak. Totally crafty.
And they're
ABVs
including him,
are
which is
super high.
something.
All right,
See what kind of hornet's nest your little paper stirred up.
I mean, I think this anger was already here. One article wouldn't make this whole difference.
Once all hazardous materials have been removed from the mines, you can expect a precipitous drop in troop numbers.
Why are you occupying the center of town?
Main Street. I mean, why can't they all be stationed over at the mines?
Yeah.
What's in those mines? That's
Have a good reason for removing it.
yeah, it's probably worth a hell of a lot of money.
I can assure you no one is profiting from this. We're merely acting in the public's best interest.
I don't understand why you have to be in the center of town. Like, be near the center of town, find an unoccupied business or something to be based out of, but literally occupying Main Street at this point, it's weird.
Caroline, can you tell us if Edge is in custody?
Miss Beppo.
No, he's not.
Lois.
They deserve to know. Edge managed to escape a holding facility a few weeks ago. Now, since then, Superman
And you've
the
been
DoD
lying to
have worked
everyone,
diligently
including Chrissy.
to try to track him down, but as of
The DoD has been lying for months. Ever since my son died. And I have proof.
Fuck. I don't like military organizations and their secrecy. So I like that they told the truth about Edge being missing because people deserve to know that that is a danger, to live their lives being aware that, like, Edge could come and brainwash people at any moment. But
Good luck, boss. I'm rooting for you.
me too. I'm very concerned though that his family has got far too happy and that he's gonna die.
The guilt. A mother feels that, thinking over and over again what I could have done differently.
This is not going well, and I don't blame anyone for how they're acting.
Please.
I mean, the truth isn't.
Got a hit on Edge.
What?
He just attacked the facility we're.
To be honest, like, if you want to lie to people, tell them something fake. Tell them Edge was using a substance found in the mines that aided mind control or something. You know, it's fake, and I don't necessarily agree with lying to people, but if you think the truth is too dangerous, and maybe in this circumstance it is because of the other ripple effects it could have, don't just say, oh, it's under investigation, we'll get back to you. Tell them the truth.
If he just wanted to hurt you, why wouldn't he come straight to Smallville? There is a bigger picture we're
There
not
is.
seeing. I should go with you.
He's
Can
the
you keep your voice
Eradicator.
down?
I'll reach out, make sure they get back to the farm.
Do you have a
They're off
location for
drinking.
Edge?
Please tell me that's not Morgan Edge floating up there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, he never calls. Just be a normal kid for like an hour. Okay, I get the ELT. If anything serious happens, I'll call Dad.
They both need to have a
Since when did you become Mr.
thingamajig.
Party guy?
Did you even hear yourself? After all you said about people abandoning Smallville, the minute it gets hard, you guys are gonna run?
It's more than hard,
Sarah, that's not
sweetheart.
fair.
You're so full of crap.
Teenager.
Is this about Jordan?
Simply trying to do what's best for our family.
Maybe you're not qualified to make that decision.
Do not blame your father for any
Sarah,
of
and
this.
your little
I blame
sister's
you too.
listening. You have another child too. This is not going well, and I'm
Your friend has
stressed.
no part in this.
I don't blame them for moving away, and I hope they stay as well, for
Kal-El.
their own
Why
sake,
are
not
you
for
here?
Smallville's.
We thought it is no Tal Row anymore.
John, picking up 4 new Kryptonian signatures in the park.
We got company.
Yeah. So with those...
Beware of Leslie Lar.
Tell me after doesn't help.
Well... Edge is now alone to do... Oh my god, people are dead with that.
Everyone! Any chance you got a camera we can go live with?
Back at GBS with Janet, she went up to the roof to get a clear shot of the action.
Lois.
No, trust me. You just sell a 42 and leave the rest of the board holding the bag.
Haha, move. Oof. Come on, use your new hammer.
59%.
My dad, well, he was sort of sent to prison. My mom and I decided we needed a fresh start.
Was she linked like a villain of some kind?
Whoa, is that Morgan Edge?
Yeah, get home please, boys. Not only because you being here potentially puts the rest of the kids in danger.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it just occurred to me that in the other world, she was on a rooftop when she got murdered by Superman. Get off a rooftop! This is exactly what it was like. I mean, it was nighttime, but...
Reporting live from Metropolis, where Morgan Edge has begun an attack on the city. Everyone in Metropolis to find a safe place to take cover until Edge is either apprehended or taken out. Superman is...
Yeah, fuck. This is so similar to what happened.
This is how she died.
Lois, behind you!
This is exactly how she died.
3, 2,
missed.
Oh my god, he's gonna get to because he didn't get to on his own one with his own wife. That's why it just really got me because like he wasn't able to save Lois in that moment for him, but he was for this.
I may have blacked out for that last.
That was a lot.
See, Superman is. We don't know how many citizens have been.
Jesus Christ, and he just almost watched his baby girl die. They almost watched their mum die. Fuck. He was obviously not concerned about you attacking. The kids are seriously still partying.
We can make this work.
But I'm just scared if we do distance, they'll start to hate us. Okay?
It is scary.
Hey, Grandpa, when Edge was speaking earlier, it sounded like
a whole bunch of voices.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you never found the Eradicator. Let's say Edge can make subjects. Where would he go next?
Isn't it obvious? To make more.
Smallville would be the ideal place for that. Oh god. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh my god. There are 3 very squishy humans in that car who I care about. 2 more than 1, but it's fine. The boys picked the worst day to be normal fucking teenagers.
There's a pistol in the glove compartment loaded with kryptonite. I need one of you boys to come up here and get it.
I mean, she could do it too.
He's on your arm. Cock the gun.
He's letting you do this. Oh my god, this is awful, this is awful, this is awful. There are babies here. There are 3 babies in this car.
You get him. You get him.
I don't know, he flew away.
Flew away where?
Oh fuck.
Jordan!
Oh fuck.
I love you.
Oh Jordan, you romantic fool, it's gonna be fine.
No!
Edge took him. There was nothing that he could do. We need to help him. He needs somebody.
Look at
These poor babies.
Find your dad. Get your dad. Okay. Now, go.
Don't worry about me later. Find that ELT.
Jesus Christ.
Get her out of here.
These brave babies. I'm stressed. I'm just glad, awful as it is, I'm fucking glad he only took Jordan. It makes it just, you know, like it's still fucking terrible, but it could be like 3 times as terrible.
Jonathan, what happened? Are you okay?
Edge took Jordan.
What?
You need to find him. Go.
Yep. Oh lord. Why did he take Jordan?
What do you
Does
want from me?
he want to make him a Kryptonian? Oh god. You can hear him, you can find him.
Lois.
This is awful.
Edge took Jordan.
No.
I tried following him. It was too late.
No, go find him.
Lois.
It's gonna be fine.
He's gone.
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna find him. That's what we're gonna do, okay? Right now it all seems bleak, but we're gonna find him. Jesus Christ. You put a soul... Is it just 1? We can uneradicate him, right?
Well done, my son.
Fuck, of course it would be his fucking father.
Now.
Everything's awful and I hate it. Because this episode was fantastic. Again, I love when episodes have a huge dramatic ending, but I hate when they have a huge dramatic ending because I immediately do not want to discuss anything that happened at the beginning of the episode. I just want to talk about the cliffhanger, but I can't because the rest of the episode did happen. The Cushings and moving out of Smallville, I am on both sides of the fence with. Like, I genuinely don't think there is a wrong decision they can make there. Maybe in the long run, maybe with hindsight, you could look back and see, oh, this would have been the better decision, that would have been the better decision. But Smallville is treating them abominably. Smallville is, you know, it didn't give them the benefit of the doubt for a second. It just turned on them. And the kids are doing the same to their kids. You know, I'm surprised the little one isn't being treated harshly as well by the little kids. I mean, I'm glad she doesn't seem to be, but I'm surprised given the way all the older kids are acting. moving away and getting a fresh start could help their family. I think it could help their family heal from the things they were going through already, because their family was struggling before Edge even was in the scene. And yes, some of that has healed, some of that is healing, but that kind of fresh start, it could be a really good thing for their family. At the same time, staying put, staying in this town that means so much to them, that has so many memories for them, fighting to save it and fighting to save themselves, could also be really good for their family. I think that would be the bumpier road in a lot of ways, but there are also benefits to it. So I truly actually think leaving is a good option and staying is a good option. I'm really hoping that they get to stay, because I'm like, it started like what if like Lana, or I was gonna call him Kevin, his name is Kyle, right? What if one of them dies or something, and then like the town is like, oh, we're sorry because you know you died to help. I mean, that I think the more that their family seems happy, the more I'm convinced one of them's gonna die. So I'm kind of glad that the last time their family was all together, like Sarah stormed off, because hopefully, although then they also like to be like, the last thing I said to him was, you don't understand, you're not in this family. I'm stressed, because as much like I have come to really root for that family as well. Going from the beginning of the season where I truly was, let's say, advocating for like the parents having a separation was what was best. At this point, I think we've seen them kind of work their way through it to the point where the separation hopefully would have got them. Like, I didn't necessarily think they should have separated in order to break up. I think sometimes a separation gives you that beat to look and to realize what the problems were, and then you can come back together. I'm just stressed, very stressed. And then I just like literally that cliffhanger has basically erased the entire beginning of the episode. So the girl whose name I still don't remember, who John likes, that was talking to him, she might be nice. I mean, getting a second chance could be nice. It's kind of her third chance, but if the first one truly was a misunderstanding and the second one she was just being a little bit overly forceful with asking questions, they could have some common ground there that's beyond just them both thinking the other one's pretty. It could be something really good for Jonathan. I think it's also good for Jonathan that the boys, as much as I don't particularly like those like obnoxious jock type footballers, I mean, we haven't really seen many of them one-on-one other than just being jerks to Sarah, and to them when they first arrived. The fact that they are kind of including him and they're calling him QB2, they're not like putting him down too much. They genuinely invited them to that party. Part of me was almost scared that they were going to get there and then be like bullied or something. But you know, he is slowly starting to find his place in this town. It's not easy starting in a new place, and he will get there. I am worried still that he's going to have this fixation with weapons and violence, but I think being the non-super person in the family, it's not necessarily the worst idea to be able to protect yourself. I am anti-guns in the real world. This isn't the real world. So there are versions of it where I do think he could end up in a place where it would be okay. And I think John Henry was kind of harsh on him, but I think it came from his own pain at having lost his child, and then his another kid coming around being a kid, and you know, when he said it was awesome that he thought about the suit with him, I think it from Jonathan's mind, he didn't think about the reality of the situation of why she was building the suit with him, but what he was thinking of was she got to spend all that time with her father, she got to share that with him, and she was skilled enough to build a war suit with her dad. Like, how awesome is that? He obviously then childishly was not thinking of the fact that the reason she was doing it and the situation they were in. I do still think that's the kind of path Jonathan's ultimately going to choose to try and go down, unless he chooses to just completely get out of the superhero business and just, you know, go be a banker somewhere. I mean, I don't see that in his future, but, you know, have a normal life somewhere maybe. I don't know. I'm just trying to not completely, like, skip. So basically skipping to the Eradicator nonsense, and yeah. Edge, I'm going to call him Edge because I can't remember his Kryptonian name with my brain fog. It was like Tao Ren or Tao Rao or something. Tao Rail. I could call him Tao Rail, but that's not his name. So I'm going to call him Edge for ease's sake. He truly just was the most loyal little soldier to his father ever. And the fact that his father is being more kind to him now, when he no longer exists and is just an eradicator full of Kryptonian souls walking around hurting people, that's when he's like, well done, son. Or I don't know if he actually said well done, but you know, his father is being far kinder to him now than he was when he actually had a son. And the level of zealotry you have to be to intentionally send your child to go and sacrifice himself, and not even do it in like a tearful, like, if there was any other way, I would do it myself. Like, it's going to destroy me forever to have to ask you to do this, but the benefit for the greater good is more important. Nope, his dad is just like, go kill yourself, son. Why aren't you killing yourself? Hurry up, kill yourself, son. Awful. And Edge had 1,000 times to make another choice, and I talked about him a lot in the previous episode. I do not feel sorry for the man he is after the choices he's made. I do feel sorry for the little kid who has been mistreated so awfully for so much of his life, but there comes a point when you have to stop excusing the actions of the grown adult making these decisions, and we have reached that point with Edge. Oh, the scene when Lois was on the rooftop, and like when she initially was like, oh the camerawoman's on the rooftop, I'm gonna go, it like flicked in and out of my brain, but a lot was going on, it was fine. And then, you know, the more it was like, as it was, she was on the rooftop, it was like, this is where she died in the other world. And then when Leslie Lara was appearing behind her, and like, I was moderately confident that Lois isn't going to die in Superman and Lois, like they'd have to rename the show, but at the same time she could have got injured, and just in general, even knowing that she was probably going to be okay in that moment, she didn't know she was going to be okay, her boys didn't know she was going to be okay, her father didn't know she was going to be okay, and that's just like, that just got me, that Jonathan had already watched this happen, and he was about to watch it happen again. And like, just the thought of that, of watching your parent die in front of you, and it was all about to happen again. But then John Henry was able to throw his hammer and do the thing he hadn't been able to do on his Earth with his wife, and save this Lois so that her children wouldn't have to watch her die. And just, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I love this show. Now, obviously, I'm intrigued about who he turned in Metropolis. Are those people just going to fizzle out and pop like the ones he did from other places? Or were they random people that had emigrated from Smallville at some point and so had enough X-Kryptonite in their system? But if he wants to make his army, yes, it made a big point attacking Metropolis first, striking at Clark's heart. It also distracted him, got him out of Smallville, which made getting Jordan easier. I guess they wanted Jordan because he has powers already, so his body is suited to being possessed by a Kryptonian, even though he hasn't been in Smallville for particularly long. And I guess taking Jordan is a bigger blow against Clark than just taking, you know, the nice lady that serves him coffee at the diner. That would make him sad, but not as sad as his own child. I'm just freaking glad that he just went for taking one kid and running, because if you want to take a huge, but take many hostages, but he just was like one kid and done. And now I'm not glad that he took Jordan. I don't ever want to say that, but you know, like there were other people there. You know, he could have killed them as well, to be like, you know, Clark could have been coming to find the wreck of the car with dead people inside of it, and that would have been even worse. So I'm glad he didn't go that dark. But yeah, just Smallville, before I keep going on about the ending, I totally understand and agree with how angry and upset Smallville is with the DoD invading their town. It kind of looks, I mean, it looks nothing like my town. My town that I live in, there is a place called the Hot Farm nearby. I'm doxing myself now, aren't I? But you don't know where I live, it's fine. And like, it does like shows and things are on there a lot. And once a year there's the War and Peace show, which is like this huge expo of, I think it happens in lots of places, but it happens here like once a year, with tanks and people come in their military costumes, and you will just go to the local supermarket and there are just people in military personnel. There's a tank parked in the parking lot. It's really weird. But yeah, so if that happened here, we might be like, oh, it's just the War and Peace show. But it would be terrifying to have this presence here, and to know that it's almost a constant reminder of this terrible thing that happened to your town, and you can never escape it. And then, yeah, like business isn't going to want to come through. If you were a tourist passing through, you'd be like, oh, that town we were going to stop in for dinner on our route, there are some military people there. Should we go to the next town? Like, it would be a negative impact for the town and stop the healing from starting. And I don't think telling them Ed was still out there was the worst idea. I can understand to a point the concept of, if you tell them everything, it's just going to make people scared for no reason. But it is also the truth, and like, that's how their lives are going to be affected by the fact that Edge is still out there. Maybe they would have given their kids a curfew, and like, I don't know, I mean, if a kid wants to sneak out, they'll sneak out, but you know, maybe they could have been stricter with their children so the children weren't all off partying. Maybe that kid's parents wouldn't have gone out of town and left their kid alone. You know, you would make different decisions if you had all the information, and you have the right to have that information and to know why your town has become a military base. I still don't entirely know why the town centre itself had to be the military base. Like, I get it's like a useful location, but it is also very disruptive. So I get why Smallville was angry, but I also feel like the whole point of this town hall was to hear what the DoD had to say. So I would be like, well, let's hear what they have to say. And then when he doesn't say much, that's when we come with all of our questions, and that's when we get really angry. But yeah, it's interesting. I think they did sort of let you see it from General Lane's point of view. You knew he wasn't doing it because he's a moustache-twirling villain who loves to mislead people, but you also could kind of see that he wasn't helping anybody. and like there were elements of the story that could be told that wouldn't reveal the secret of Superman, and they just needed to be careful about which ones those were and tell them. So the ending was freaking awful. The whole, like, they were in that car and then Edge was gone, and then the car was flipping, and I was like, there are 3 squishy people in this car, there's only 1 non-squishy person. And it wasn't really in a situation in which Jordan could do anything to really protect anybody else. I suppose he was kind of able to hold Sarah in place so she didn't get too injured. I hope their grandfather is okay. I mean, he was like, oh, don't worry about me, you've got about your brother. You're very much a good general and grandfather in, like, prioritizing the people in his care. But I'm mildly concerned that, like, he's gonna die, like, have internal bleeding or be stabbed and he hasn't told anyone because, you know, he's busy. But that moment when, you know, Jonathan was being as brave as he could. He was trying to do the thing that he's been training for, that in his mind he's like, this is how I can protect my family. And I was like, Edge is just watching. Edge can see what he's doing. Edge knows this isn't going to work. And of course it didn't. And Edge was just toying with them, you know, getting them to use that 1 round of ammo they had for no reason. Edge was toying with them when he let Jordan say, I love you, you know. I mean, in a way it was nice. He got to say his goodbye. It's not going to be a goodbye, but, you know, he got to say his goodbye. But he didn't need to do any of that. He could have just grabbed Jordan and run from the minute the car was flipping. Probably, but like, he didn't even need to make the car flip. He could have just thrown up, grabbed the thing off, grabbed Jordan and been gone, and no one would have been able to do anything about it. But he was just showing a power of dominance and to scare them, and it fucking worked. It scared me. And just right now, Sarah's just running home to just tell her dad that, I guess, to tell her dad that, like, there's been a car accident, that General Lane's hurt, and that Jordan, like, it's just a lot's happening. And then for Clark to hear once again the absolute terror in his son's voice as he's screaming for his dad to come and help him, and he gets there and one of his sons is injured and the other son is gone, and then he cannot find him. He can hear everything from all around the world, but the one thing he wants to hear is his son. And yes, right there and there it would have been his son screaming in pain, but at least it would have been his son, and he couldn't hear it. And then he had to go and tell his wife that his son was gone and he didn't know where they were. And we're gonna find him. I mean, admittedly, I don't know how much we're gonna find Jordan and how much he's just gonna stroll into town being an evil megalomaniac, but at least we'll know where he is. And I mean, I want to be like, I mean, we're gonna save Jordan. I have to be confident on that, but they have no fucking way of knowing that. Like, these characters in this situation do not know that they're gonna save Jordan. You know, Jordan would have been freaking terrified that entire time. Jonathan watching his brother get snatched, being unable to do anything to help save him. General Lane being unable to help save his grandkids. From Clark and Lois not being there, not being able to do anything, that moment of absolute terror, it's happening and you don't know what's happening. And when they can see him, because I presume he and Edge are just going to appear and be like shooty eye evilly, you know. I can't remember Edge's dad's name, so I'm calling Edge's dad for now. Like, when he strolls up and he's all like, I am evil, mwahaha, here is my master plan. It's their little boy, it's their baby, and I can't even begin to imagine that. I mean, the Eradicator had to be reversed to save everyone before. Edge is the Eradicator. So how the frick are we going to get him to reverse? Is there going to be enough of Towel Rail? Is there going to be enough of Edge in there to wake up and to realise, I actually don't want this. This wasn't worth it. I'm going to make the right choice. I don't see that. So I really don't know how we're going to get out of this. I believe Jordan is strong and I believe he can fight against it. But I think without the Eradicator being flipped, it wasn't just a matter of having a strong will. But did Clark? Clark was able to just beat it, wasn't he? With his love for his family. So maybe we can do that with Jordan. I'm just freaking stressed and I can't even imagine what these characters are going through right now. Thank you so much, Jarell, for sponsoring this show and sponsoring my stress. And thank you for watching.